Flosstube. Welcome to my channel, Bobo Jessie Stitches. I'm Jessie, and this is a channel primarily about cross stitch. Happy New Year! It's January 2nd, and I am filming my regular Flosstube video, which will be a wrap-up of December and of the year. And then we're going to talk about plans for 2024. So that's going to be today's agenda on the video. Whether you are new or returning, welcome in. Grab a drink. We'll see how long this takes. Probably won't be very long. But one never knows. Stay hydrated. I got my fancy hat on. Don't know how much of it you can see, but it's a big fancy hat. So, all right. So let's first talk about December. Let's go through December, and then we'll talk about my year-end stats, and then we'll go into 2024 plans. And so yeah. All right, so first for December, not a whole lot. For those of you who watch all of my Floss-A-Days videos, thank you so much. I hope you found it enjoyable. If you haven't watched it, no worries. There is a playlist. If for some reason after New Year's you have a desire to go back and watch Floss-A-Days, but it's there if you would like. And I'm not going to do a rehashing of all the things that I got in the countdown boxes, but I'm definitely going to go ahead and give you a summary of all of my projects, so have no fears. Okay, so but we were on vacation. We went to Southern California, so we spent half of our trip kind of doing the Southern California, LA kind of touristy things, and then the other half of that trip spending our day in Disneyland. And then we came back, and then it was the holidays, and so it was really great. But I did work a lot, so I didn't, because January is actually my busy time of my work year. I work a lot, like huge hours, 10, 12-hour days, weekends included. So I probably will not get a whole lot of stitching done, but we shall see. But because of the vacations and the work and the holidays, it wasn't the biggest stitching month. I did stitch a total of 20 days, and I put in 6,551 stitches for the year. And I worked on a total of 5 projects. All right, so let's start. I don't have all of the details of all my projects. That's okay. Go check me out on Instagram. All that information is there. First up, Dr. Georgina Wyndham. All right. So I have been stitching on this when I travel. So I did take this to games and to doctor's appointments this month. And yeah. Sorry, I'm usually so much more organized than this. But here it is. Pretty much since the last time that you saw it, I've just been filling in this side of the guy. Well, not the guy, of the lady, of the doctor, more accurately. And I'm doing this 2/2 with a called for Floss by Forbidden Fiber Co. on Love Potion, also by Forbidden Fiber Co. Lots of work being done on that in general. It does stitch up pretty quickly. All right. And next up, if you did not watch my Floss-A-Days, I did try very badly, thinking, oh, I'm going to work on work on a motif a day, and I'm going to get so much progress on it done. Turned out I only worked on it for a total of 8 days, and I put in something like 1,200 stitches into it. But it was a new start, and that was for New Year Sampler. And this is where I got to. So new start. And that's about 1,200 stitches. And I'm doing this 2/2 with the called for floss on 32 count Lugana Spice Honey by Color and Cotton. I think this is a beautiful project. But obviously, one that I was not going to stitch a motif a day. What was I thinking? Thinking silly things. All right. Now, early in the month, in beginning of December, I did attend the Jingle Ball, save the date. They already have the dates announced for 2024. It's so much fun. I know it's hard to think about in January. We're already shifting gears to New Year, new holidays, new things, right? Like the holidays are slowly going away, but they do have it scheduled. Save the date. It's so much fun. Even if you didn't so I didn't do a whole lot. I think I went to the stitching room once, and then I went out like maybe an hour later, if that, without even really engaging with anybody. I did do the speed dating thing, the speed stitching thing, which was really kind of fun. I did that for about 30-40 minutes. Met a few nice people doing that, so that was very interesting. But honestly, just being upfront about it, it's you don't really even need to. Like, I really enjoyed all of the content that was created by the designers. The amount of work, honestly, at $10 each, I really do hope that they sold lots of patterns, that they did lots of, that the ticket sales were high enough that it was really made it worthwhile. I don't know how they're getting paid and all this from it, but the amount of work that they put into it to create all of the waiting room entertainment, it's like they did something like 8 hours worth of entertainment pre-recorded for us. And that in itself was a lot of value. And then they had the meetups and everything. So, and the classes were great. So all that to say is that I have two things related to the Jingle Ball. So I have one fully finished, or I actually have two fully finishes from the Jingle Ball. The first one up is Season Greetings by Frosted Pumpkin Embroidery. Stitchery, not embroidery. Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery. So this was a class that they did on how to do a flat fold, a flat finish, very different from the other one. And so this one was a little bit more meticulous. So here's the back using their customized printed fabric. It even says Jingle Ball there. Isn't that cute? And so this one, a lot, no glue. I mean, there's glue for the batting on the inside underneath because there's no real reason to do that stitching. But basically, the instructions was how to stitch it on. So all of this has been sewn on. You're not going to be able to see, but there's no glue anywhere on this project on the external side in any way. So I stitch all of this up. So this was a finish and a fully finish in 2023 in December. I have considered this a finish, although there are still additional color waves and I have enough supplies to finish two, maybe even three more of these. I'm not sure if I'm going to stitch another one. So I'm keeping it kitted for right now, just in case I do decide I'm going to stitch another one. But honestly, I'm pretty tempted just to make a project bag out of the remaining fabric that we have for the Frosted Pumpkin. And but really happy with this. I really enjoyed taking the class. I definitely learned some things, even though it's not my first class flat finish to complete. It was nice to learn from their perspective on how to do things. The other class that I took was from Misty with Luminous Fiber Arts, and that was an ornament finish. And so I actually have that fully finished right here. So here's that fully finished. This is her pattern, which is the Wintergreen Christmas, again by Luminous Fiber Arts. And so this is an ornament finish. And the backing fabric that I chose was this red snowflake kind of pattern. And this one, Misty's class, also an excellent class, but this is all glue. So this was actually, so for her, this was showing how to do everything. Now I do have, because I was using my own sticky board, my own mat board. My mat board was a sticky board, but there's some batting. But otherwise, it's all glue. This is using pre-made twine that you can get from Michaels, and just how to glue it on and do all of that. And I thought it was also a very good class, a different way of doing a finish from the flat fold. You can probably use the same exact techniques for either one. Honestly, if I really wanted to be fancy, I could stitch this one versus like this one I didn't. But I think that, and the other difference is that this is on backing. There is batting on this one. But there you go. So those are my two Jingle Ball fully finished objects from the Jingle Ball. But with that, I also have fully finished Wintergreen Christmas. So unlike the Season's Greetings, which is multiple color waves of the same design, Misty's Wintergreen Christmas came with 3 different ornament designs. There was the trees here, but I also have a finish of Santa and of the reindeer, and we have christened this reindeer Prancer. So this is all fully finished, and all 3 of these projects were done with the kit that I got from Luminous Fiber Arts. So this is 2/2 with all the called for fiber, which is DMC and Classic Colorworks on her dyed fabric 32 count linen. All right. And then last but not least, I have a full a finish for tree sequester. So when I first moved to the United States, I had a Eurasian accent, and um, and one of the things that was very difficult was the way the THs sounded, and learning how to do that. So I used to say tree as opposed to three. Man, I got bullied for that. Anyways, all right. So this is the Tree of Magic, and it's a finish. So this was one of my 2021 starts that I wanted to get done in 2023, and I did it. It was down to the wire, y'all. 8 minutes before midnight here in Central Texas, and in Central Time Zone in Texas. I got it done. Oh, this little mountain. So basically, I had already finished this branch for the most part. Had to do the back stitching, and then I had to finish this branch up here. And oh man, yeah. I think this was about 2,000 stitches got put into Tree of Magic. So I love it. The companion piece, which was the Christmas tree, was already done last year, and so I'm excited. Now I can think about how I'm going to frame these or get them displayed going forward. So that's it. That's all of my stitching for December. Not a bad month. Not a whole lot of stitching, but I got 2 fully finishes and like 4 finishes. Right? Am I doing that math? 5 before, because I finished the tree before. The trees from Misty's, the ornament. I had finished that stitching before December. And so yeah. All right. That's it for December. Now, 2023 wrap up. I actually posted on this on Instagram yesterday, and when I went to go pull out the data again today, I think there may have been a mistake in my Instagram post. So, but I started 2023 with 11 whips. I started 26 projects in 2023, and I finished 14, ending my year with 23 whips. So I'm coming into 2024 with 23 whips. Now, I fully acknowledge that that is not a lot of whips for some people. It's a lot for me. I feel like my comfort level of having whips usually lies between the 12 to 15 mark. I feel like that's very manageable. I can get those projects work, do a lot of stitching into them, and feel like everything's getting attention. So 23 feels high to me. So, I also put in 102,614 stitches in 2023, and I stitched on 291 days. That's actually, when I think about it, a lot of days that I didn't do any stitching. I'm kind of curious about that. That's a lot more than I thought that I would have, right? That's 2 months almost overall. Because usually I stitch almost every day. So that's kind of curious. So probably this is almost 20,000 less stitching than what I did in 2022. And, that probably explains it. There's probably a day discrepancy there, because I'm pretty sure I did something like 320 or 325 days in 2022. So that's it. It's a solid year. I mean, I can't complain, right? Like I'm really fortunate in that I have a lifestyle that allows me to have a hobby that I really enjoy. I mean, it shows that I'm able to actually do a lot of work on it. And so, there's that. Okay. Let's talk about plants. I don't know if I'm going to show you everything. Think of it this way. Think of this part of the video as being seen in conjunction with my whip parade. So my whip parade got posted. It's only about 30 minutes, so you can watch that. It has all of my 23 projects in it. And there's also my Instagram. You can go and take a look at the photos and things like that there, but if I show you everything, it's just going to be duplicative of what the whip parade would be, and I don't know how entertaining that is for you. So let's talk specifically about what my goals are for 2024. I don't do a lot of things that other people do. I don't do whip go. I don't do no new starts or anything along that lines. Everything I do is pretty much what I want to do, what I want to do. I am a stitch what you want when you want. Like that's the kind of person that I am. But I am very progress oriented as opposed to process oriented. I like seeing projects get finished. I like seeing movement on it, and so that's the way I like to stitch, which kind of informs my goals. I want to see things finished, and nothing against anybody who's process oriented, who never cares if they see things finished or are happy with just a handful of finishes. That's perfectly, it's your hobby. You do you, you be happy doing it. But for me, I like seeing things finish. Now, I don't like seeing things finish so much that I do a bunch of smalls. I do stitch pretty large projects, as you see, they usually are defined as medium to large. So I think like a solid number of trying to get finishes done in a year should be around 12 to 15 finishes. So as I can have around 12 to 15 whips in progress at any given time. I just basically said work in progress in progress. But just like I think there should be about 12 to 15 whips, I think that a solid goal for a finish is 12 to 15 finishes for my type of stitching and the speed that I stitch and the size of the projects that I stitch at. So with that and 23 projects, I am feeling a little bit of some anxiety, not like real anxiety, more like, I got too much. I need to get some stuff done. So I also did not meet my 2023 goals. For those of you who are new to me, I have a goal, which is that going into the current year, I want to finish any project that had been started 2 years prior. So in 2024, those would be projects started in 2022 that have not been finished. Anything that I've carried over at least 2 years, basically. So in 2023, I had several projects that I had started in 2021 that I wanted to get done. I did not accomplish that. While I did do meet some of those goals, I bring into the year two projects started in 2021 that were not completed, which is Lunar Princess Sal and I Search for an Ancestor. Lunar Princess Sal, I don't think it's going to be an issue. I should be able to get that done without any real problems. I Search for an Ancestor, though, however, was completely neglected for almost the entirety of 2023. So it's a big project, lots of stitching left to be done on that. So I need to get focused on that to maintain that. I also am carrying into 2024 three projects that were started in 2022, which will be part of my goals to finish, which will be Lady Justice by Mirabilia, Baba Yaga by Autumn Lane Stitchery, and Here Be Dragons by Modern Folk Embroidery. So those are my 22 starts that I did not complete this past year. Now, in total, that is 5 projects that I would be looking to get complete in 2024. I think that's doable. Lady Justice and I Search for an Ancestor are not in has much progress in them as I would like, and I think I'm going to have to do some monogamous stitching on them to kind of kickstart that projects and kind of get my whip stitch mojo going on those. But those are my 5 projects that I would be carrying over. That would be the goals for 2024. Now, if you watch my whip parade, you will also recognize I have 2 projects that I have not mentioned that are older than 2021. So I have Cinderella Wishes Upon a Dream and Sailor Moon Squad. Now, for Cinderella Wishes Upon a Dream, I did have a goal to try to get that finished in 2023. That did not happen. I will carry that goal over into 2024. Fandom Stitching Central for this year's theme is Disney. If you have not joined and you're interested in doing that, please go check us out on Facebook and join. You can join my team, which is I am Team Goofy. You can always request to be part of my team. We're pretty chill. This is not a competition group. Competitive stitching is really competing with yourself, but it's just a fun way to take some themes around a shared fandom and stitch on projects working towards that goal. And it's a fun community, and so but consider doing that. But our theme is Disney, and there's going to be an allotment to allow us to kind of stitch on Disney themed projects. So hopefully with that, I might be able to finish Cinderella Wishes Upon a Dream this year. It's a lot though. I have a lot left to do, so I don't want to pressure myself, but I think I am going to plan on 1 or 2 monogamous months for that. And we'll see what happens there. But the other thing is that I think that as long as I'm not traveling on the weekends, that I will probably work on Cinderella. My other goal for Sailor Moon Squad was to finish Sailor Venus. I also did not accomplish that. That goal will get carried over into 2024. And then, of course, I will be wanting to start on Sailor Jupiter. I don't think I will be able to finish Sailor Jupiter in the year because it is a lot. It's taken me pretty much 3 years to get through Sailor Venus, so it's unlikely that I would be able to finish Sailor Jupiter in about the same amount of time. So my goal that I'm going to kind of put into that is to start on Sailor Jupiter and maybe put in a third of Sailor Jupiter into the project. So that's going to kind of be my goals for those 2 older projects that I am not trying to finish, but hopefully Cinderella, hopefully I'll be able to finish. Now, that being said, I would like to get my whip count down to between 12 and 15, and I'm currently at 23. So I do need to finish 10 projects. Now, 5 projects will do that. If I happen to do Cinderella, that'll be 6. But I also, remember, I like to have goals to finish projects that get carried over to finish them in the prior year. So if I don't want 2025 to be a fully no new start year, I also have to focus on projects that I started in 2023. And I had a lot of starts, right? And so of my 23 current whips, only 7 were started before 23. 16 were started in 2023. So, and they're all pretty solid sizes. So I have a goal to finish 8 of these existing projects. And those 8 projects are going to be Greenhouse of Oddities by Lola Crow, Castle Homecoming by Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery, Dr. Georgina Wyndham by Forbidden Fiber Co., Death Before Decaf by Witchy Stitcher, Anna Green Gables for the Stitching Book Club by Sapphire Mountain Handcrafts, Trick or Treat by Luminous Fiber Arts, Evening Stroll by Autumn Lane Stitchery, and Autumn Harvest Festival by Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery. So those are going to be my 8 goals, my 8 projects that were started in 2023 that I would like to get done in 2024. Now, that's a lot. That's 13 projects, potentially 14. I am trying to finish in 2024. Well, that would be my goal, right? Like that would be everything. So that's not a whole lot of thinking about starting things, etc. I'm going to start things. I just am. I don't know how to not start things. First, although I'm turning 47 in January, at the end of this month, I'm turning 47. I am born on the tail of the dragon. So, for those of you who may not be aware, the Lunar New Year, most frequently referred to as the Chinese New Year, but Chinese people are not the only people who celebrate the Lunar New Year, but the Chinese zodiac, the Chinese years, is usually what people think of. It's going to be the year of the dragon. The Lunar New Year begins in February, but I was born in the tail, so I'll be turning 48. So when you think of the 12-year cycle, I'll be turning 48 at the end in 2025. And so now, I was born in the year of the fire dragon. So those of you who are born mostly in 1976, January of 77, that we were born in the year of the fire dragon. This dragon is the wood dragon. So there's different kinds of mentality about that on whether or not maybe a lucky year or a not lucky year. So, but I really wanted, because it is the year of the dragon, to do something. I don't know what that's going to be yet. Anita over at the Violet Stitcher, I had kind of talked about how I was so inspired by all of her dragons, especially, and I do have a Teresa Wentzler for my time capsule that I've been thinking about starting. And she invited me to start with her. She's planning to start in February, and I thought about that with the Year of the Dragon. Maybe that would be a good start. But honestly, I'm a little hesitant of it because it is a Western dragon, and Western dragons are different, have different myths around them, different lores as it relates to the Eastern dragons. And so I'm gonna kind of wait, do some shopping, see if I see anything that really intrigues me. But I would like to do a start as it relates to the beginning of my lunar year. And and you know, in honor of that. And like seriously, like although I am Thai, my mom is Thai, we're Thai, and they celebrate a solar calendar. She's also has Chinese heritage, so it was really important. And I was born via C-section. Like my parents paid money to ensure that I was born in the year of the dragon, because I think I was actually originally due a little bit later, pretty too close to the new year, for my mom's preferences. So she paid for a C. We had so there was a C-section. She picked the date. She like did all of this research. So it's actually pretty. It's something that means a lot in my personal life. So I really wanted to do something like that. So if y'all got a suggestion for an Eastern dragon pattern that you think would be pretty cool, let me know. I'm still searching. So there will be at least that one you start as it relates to that. And frankly, whatever else just strikes my mojo. You know, like let's be real. There's a lot of great designers out there constantly putting out new stuff that you just want to stitch on. So what are you gonna do? Stitch everything. But those are gonna be my plans for 2024. It's a lot. It's a lot. I do admit I'm a little not overwhelmed, but I'm a little like, how am I gonna do that? But I'll be able to. I'm pretty sure I can. Join me on it. Want to sal any of this? It'll be unofficial sals. You want to have fun with me in doing any of it? Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what we'll do. All right. Well, that's it. I don't have anything else. I don't know if I'm going to have any timestamps below. It's a very short video. It's 26 minutes. So, but you know, we'll see. We'll see if I put the timestamps below. I have a couple of goals as it relates to. Oh, by the way, yes, a couple of goals as it relates to Flosstube, which is one, I'm gonna try to not edit so much. It takes a long time for me to edit, and I'm not really sure that I want to do that. Let me know. Let me know. I am going to test it. For those of you who have watched me before, and even those of you who are new, I'm not going to edit this video. I'm not going to put in before pictures or names of things. Everything is just going to kind of be below. I'm going to let you know that if you follow me on Instagram, when I post my final pictures, my progress pictures for the month, I always post the picture of what it looked like the last time that you saw it, at the beginning of the month, or the last time that you saw whatever that may happen to be. And so you can always follow me on Instagram, Bubba_JessieC, where you can see my before and after pictures. And so, but I don't know how much of that is something that y'all are really interested in. Are you really interested in seeing the actual before and then the after picture, as it relates to that? Does me putting in the little pop-ups of the names of the projects, do you like that? Now, if you, my friends, if you tell me that this is something that makes your viewing of the Flosstube videos that I create more enjoyable, please let me know. I will do it. But I'm not sure if people need it or want it or care. So, because the editing does take time. So, but you can when you watch my whip parade, you'll see how I've popped in the names of the projects and everything. And, you know, there's no before pictures, but previous Flosstubes videos, you can watch my November update and it will show you those. You know, so let me know. Let me know, does that bring value to you and how you watch my videos, and does it help? I put all the stuff in the show notes. Is that enough? You let me know. I honestly, I really don't know. As a viewer, has friends of my Flosstube community, it doesn't matter to me. Like, it doesn't impact my enjoyment of hanging out with my friends when I don't see their befores or they don't post the things. But I also do like it. Like, there are some that are really excellent editors and put in some really great seamless things into it. And I kind of admire that, and I kind of try to do that. So let me know. Let me know what you think. It's you know, I think if I didn't have to edit, I may film more frequently. I think if it was just something where I could just sit down to camera, show you what I've done, and then move on, I may be more likely to film more regularly than once a month. But let me know. Let me know what you think. I am working on my Notion update. Again, January is a really, really busy month for me. So look for that Notion update in February. More likely than not, there'll be a Flosstube extra in that time. I'm still working on some of those updates, but it's really exciting what I'm working on. I can't wait to share some of that with you. And also, because we are going back into office, although we will still be able to work remotely for a few days a week, we are supposed to be going back into office on a more regular basis. That means that my space here is about to become more my own. And so I'm hoping in the next few months to be able to show you a quilt studio, craft studio tour. So those are some things I got planned for 2024, at least in the first half of 2024. Of course, there's going to be May, where we're going to be focused on Cinderella. I always focus on Cinderella in May, and there's going to be Sailor September in September, and some other things that I'm going to try to think about that we can do throughout the year. All right. Well, with that, I'm going to thank everybody. Don't worry. Would it be a Jessie video without a joke? Of course not. So here's the joke to end my January 2nd. Remember, this is January 2nd video. What's a New Year's resolution? Something that goes in one year and out the other. Wherever you are, I hope you're having a stitchy good time. Let me know the answers to my questions. And I'll see you next time. Take care. Bye.